Hello everybody, my name is Meta_Meister, and this is Dungeon of the Endless, Part 2. Welcome back. So which comes first, ready or aim? That part always confused me! Oh Ken, you are so crazy. So, I apologize if I end up repeating myself a bit, as it has been a while since I have been able to touch this game, and I actually did end up having to restart, but I am just kind of continuing back where I left off in the last video, which is just finishing up floor 2 into floor 3 with the same characters, same difficulty mode. The only differences are I kind of have a lot more food. Yeah, sounds kind of risky. I don't really have a lot of that, but I'll get a major note at the end, and I get a bunch of extra food, so I mean, hey, just got to put it into making a industry generator next. So, but whatever. I did run into Sarah on the last floor, and I decided against picking her up just because I kind of wanted to be on the same page coming in as when I left. But that being said, I did promise to talk more about the multiplayer features for this game in this video. So, really things that you can expect to see in multiplayer is, first, obviously, it exists. It's a thing. The big thing is the fact that you can play up to 4 people. So that means at the beginning, everyone picks a character, and you all actually start. So instead of starting with 2 guys, like what is standard for a single-player game, you can get up to 4 characters. Now, one thing that you do get in multiplayer is your resources are not shared. So everyone will actually, instead of getting 12, I'll be getting 4 industry right now. Every player would be getting, depending on, well, it'd be divided by how many players you have. So if there was 3 guys, then I'd be getting 4. So the resources aren't shared. You can actually trade resources back and forth, but you do not inherently automatically just resource share. Also, one thing that kind of in part of multiplayer is your research upgrades aren't shared either. So lo and behold, I just got a research location. Actually, we're going to turn you off and turn this on. So for instance, if I were to get Science Creator 2 and all the other players playing with me, if I get it, and I'm player A, player B builds a science generator, well, they're going to get their version of the science creator. They're not going to get my level 2 upgrade. So if they only have level 1, then that's what they're going to be building, a level 1 science generator. And that's just for every single building in the game. So make sure if you're it's a pretty good idea, and I've done this before when I played, when playing multiplayer, to kind of have one guy be like, alright, I'm going to upgrade this, and they have another guy upgrade something different, and then, you know, obviously, if you're the one upgrading industry generators, you should be the one building your industry generators. You shouldn't be having another player build them because you have the upgrade. And that's pretty obvious and straightforward. Another thing to note in multiplayer is if you are playing with 4 people and you do lose your character, it is not game over for you. You can still play. Just like as in single player, you'll find random heroes strewn about different floors, and you can find them and recruit them. You have to be the one that recruits them, though. So let's say I'm out of characters, and there's a guy in this room right here where Ken Masaki is, and an ally runs up, you know, Skiag runs up, which is player B, can run in the room, and then you click on him, and then you just recruit him. So then you get him. It's been my experience that playing multiplayer is actually easier and harder at the same time. I know it's kind of a confusing statement to make. It's easier because you don't have to micro your guys as much, and I know that seems like, well, that's not that difficult to do. But the reason why it can get challenging is towards the end of the game when things are a lot quicker paced and guys do lots of damage. Healing people, sometimes you don't get it done quite in the nick of time. So when you only have to worry about one guy worrying about healing one person, it makes things sometimes significantly easier. However, the downside is you know, everyone's got to be on the same page. you really gotta coordinate with your teammates, or someone's going to make an error, maybe open a door too soon, or build something they're not supposed to build. But some things can go awry, and it's easier to deal with that if it's you're the only one playing, because then you're the one making all the decisions, and it's all on you. When you got allies and they all want to do their own thing, coordination becomes very important. So making sure that people don't do things that are bad for the team. With that being said, multiplayer is still very similar. Pretty much is the exact same game. I mean, you really just start playing this game with your friends. I would recommend, if you're playing with your friends, not to have random people play. I have played with random people before, and I've noticed that I find it to be less enjoyable. I would pretty much, if you're playing multiplayer, specifically play with just your, like, one friend. I really wouldn't even go more than an extra person. I think that kind of detracts too much from the game. For me, these guys are making a run for the crystals, so we're going to have to hunt them down, because I don't have... Oh my gosh, I didn't realize just how close to the crystal they were going to be. Oof. Drop him. Drop him, Ken Misaki. You got this, buddy. Don't let him hurt the crystal. Well, we're making dust back at least. So but I did get some hits in. That would have been nice if they didn't. Just go ahead and throw some prods down, just in case. And as you can see, I'm really kind of killing it in terms of food. I have a lot of food this time around. You want industry for stuff. Everything we're selling, hand vacuum gives, pickpocket. I'm not really interested in what you've got. Your wares, friend. So at this point in this floor, 16 doors in, we're not building any more major nodes anymore, modules. In fact, that last one might have even been too much on its own. We'll pull back to here. Oops, I did not mean to heal, but it's okay. I've got a lot of food, so it's quite alright. Alright, let's continue onward. Wait, let's wait a second. Okay, now we can open the door. Just a bit of delay. We'll get time to get there. And one thing I kind of forgot to do, but it's alright. It's really not the end of the world, like I said. And that's... Ooh, let's get you over there. I mean, that's that I didn't... Sorry, hold on. Not to cut myself off with that, but I was trying to time my red plume. Something that I didn't do. Gosh, right now I'm drawing a blank on this. Oh, I don't think I forgot to double check the science facility for upgrades again. Oh well, I'll live. Okay. I really wish that guy was selling stuff for dust, because that would make me a very happy and wealthy and all that other fun stuff. But yeah. This is pretty easy, floor number 3. Typically, the game doesn't get a heck of a lot more difficult until floor 7. Up until that point, it's not a cakewalk, but just following some pretty, basic guidelines, you can make it there pretty simple. And that's, elevators are boring. Nothing to kill or eat. Oh, Ken, you crazy. You cray-cray. But even just following some pretty basic rules for the game, you can make it to roughly floor 7 pretty, without much difficulty. And that's really just, upgrading your heroes every now and again. Constantly not doing what I just was about to do, which is always kind of keeping up with, putting down your resource generators, without opening doors. Let's see what we got here. Food Replicator 4. Well, we're definitely going to want to get that, so we're going to try and get some science creators going. a second. Well, the crystal monster, so that's a new guy, and this guy is going to, I believe he's actually going to attack this food replicator if I let him, so we'll just double check just for your guys' benefit. So he goes straight for the major nodes first, yeah, and he does. So you start to get new monsters, and that's one of the things that's going to make the game more challenging, is different monsters coming out that have different behavioral patterns. As we've seen so far, they've either done one of two things: they stop to fight your character, or they go straight for the orange power crystal. And that's the first monster we've come across in this session that will try and break down your major nodes. And those guys actually fairly tanky too, and that's a new guy as well. And he's just a bigger, badder, I'm gonna beat up your hero's character, and he will target your heroes. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade our characters again. And we got sacrifice, attack power plus 130%, damage over time, 20 hit points per second on Ken. So he hurts himself to do more damage, as is kind of his character. He definitely is kind of that way mentally, so only makes sense. We're going to go ahead and just drop down 2 prods there, just because we have powered rooms now, and we're going to continue just going in a straight line. We're almost have enough for that food replicator 4, which is going to be great. Let's pull our guys up. Pretty easy wave. Other thing that makes the game eventually start to be more difficult is, as you can see right now, I've got a couple empowered rooms. There are going to be floors where that's just going to start coming in mass. You're going to eventually it's going to start being a lot more common that you're not getting dust as much as you are right now. Like I've got a decent amount of dust for the amount of doors I have open. But eventually, you're going to get to the point where you're not getting as much, and it's going to be a lot more harder because you're fighting more waves of monsters, and the fact that they're getting stronger. So stronger monsters and more of them obviously equals another pretty simple wave to deal with, and these guys should be no problem. All the crystal guys. And some of the guys are pretty straightforward. Just up here, they're stronger, a stronger version of monsters that exist. For instance, you'll see the red crystalline versions of the crystal monsters that you are seeing right here. Like, these guys become red eventually, and some of these little button guys are like blood crystals. But then there are also monsters that have, unique personality traits. They'll do different things or cause different events, and they will really kind of require you to be on your toes at a certain point. And that time's actually slowly coming where they're going to start to introduce these guys. And one of them is a little goblin riding a rhinoceros, and you'll see, I'll show it when it comes up, but there is eventually a goblin who rides a rhinoceros, as I said, it'll show a little icon over a door, and they're basically going to go bust that door down. And if they get there, it's bad news bears, because they're going to do two things. A, they're going to keep busting down doors until you destroy that thing. And they do take some time to bust the door down. It's not like they instantly get there and they break it. And sometimes they'll try and break the door in the room that they were spawned in, so it's pretty easy for them to get there. Sometimes they travel across the map. But it's the equivalent of opening a new room, but in the middle of a wave. So you can have two waves stacked on top of each other if you aren't careful. So that's why dealing with those guys is very, 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 very importante. Let's pull back to where Ken is. Okay, that's a fairly bigger wave. Just because I don't want them to break the node, our major module. Sorry, I call them nodes because we're doing a lot of Raiden Kings. And I just call stuff Raiden Kings nodes. Oh, don't let me get the crystal. Oh, we lost a room. Come on, game. It's not fun. Oh, we got it back. That's convenient. Sweet. Alright. And do we have enough to really safely upgrade again? What do we get? Defense, damage, attack power. We're just going to go ahead and not bother upgrading. I want to make sure you have enough food to heal. As we saw in the last video, I upgraded a little too soon and ran into some trouble. Oh, sweet. So that time it paid off for us. Obviously, last time it didn't. Getting some free dust is always a plus. Can we do anything with this? we're kind of approaching a point where we don't want to even be bothering with building any more major modules anyways, so we're probably done with building these things for this floor. As is. Go back. Okay, so we just got EMP'd. Fun stuff. We'll pull all our guys up here now. So this floor, we can end it pretty much anytime we want to now because this is all powered over here. So if things go south, we can pull this crystal and just book it out of this floor pretty easily. We're just going to continue going in a straight line because I really like going in a straight line when I can help it. We got a store, and he is dust. Excellent. I love it when a shopkeeper peddles in dust because now at the end I can make a really risky path to Elise. 54 food for a tanky character? I'll take it. Characters are characters. Anyways, you can kind of just have a really risky path and get a bunch of free stuff. So, since dust is the only resource that doesn't carry over for floors, it can be very rewarding to sell or buy gear. Oh my gosh, another character that I really like. Well, excellent. We're getting a bunch of guys. Another door! More monsters! It's like every moment is my birthday! We've got more EMPs coming our way, but that's not going to slow us down even the slightest. We're going to double check on this research facility, though, just because this floor is probably almost over. And if we get some more research going, all the better. And I forgot I got Mechanical Pal, but we're going to... Prisoner Prod 3? Yeah, I'll take Prisoner Prod 3. So once this floor is over, I'm probably going to go the risky route and buy a bunch of stuff, and... Yep, there we go, the last door. Good thing I decided to check. And... pull all our guys together here. And we'll handily deal with these dudes. Well, let's... have you two head over there just in case. We've got 2 tanky characters now. 2 more tanky characters. Well, I didn't really have any tanky characters until I picked up those 2 guys. But now I've got tanky characters, period. Which is a very good thing. I think you are a fairly quick character, too. We're going to go ahead and just give you a couple upgrades. So you're level 4. And we'll save the rest of our food. What do we got? We got a spear, some armor, a sword. I don't think we have anyone that uses a sword. Yeah, we just got guys who use spears. Tower of Hats. Gets defense. Wit. But we're gonna... oh, man, this is so risky. We're floor 4. We're gonna buy everything. And the reason is... when we make it to the next floor, we're actually going to sell it for a different kind of resource. So... and just kind of bolster our defenses up a bit. And the person who's going to take it is Elsie. Okay. This is great! All the butts that need kicking come right for you! And everybody else will run defense for Elsie, as she has now aggroed the entire floor! Alright, guys. Now... the risk for this is really, really low, but the reward for this is really, really great. You can see monsters, the only ones that are going to spawn are right here. I can leave my guys here just for a second, just to clean them up. And then we just keep going. And then some other monsters are going to come from there, and we don't even need to really fight them. We're just going to wait right here. I really didn't even need to build those extra prisoner pods. We made it pretty okay. And as you can see, we're on to floor 5. So... that's all the time I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you watching. I really hope you tune in next time. Have a great day, everybody. I only have this club here. So they are switching. So I guess there's probably like a lot of... oh God! Really? My chances of success. Really?